Keep that water clean, bruh. No, he's not big-timing us.
No, he's
Who does
here.
Eytan think he is, Brian Baumgartner? Did he ever make 13 consecutive shots from way downtown at the top of the key like Kevin did on The Office?
He's actually right on time. 4:20.
I know you. See, he
this
waits.
This is his time.
He waited till 4:20 exactly.
Mm-hmm. On brand.
Not Eytan Baumgartner, no.
No.
He is here. He's not in the office, and he's not on the golf course, which must mean he's really visibly angry today. His streak, his consecutive days of golf streak ended at what? This is Cal Ripken-esque.
It is.
Well, I'll say this. It's not my fault. Yeah, I guess they do this at every club. You know, I'm still new to the club life. Harry will fill you in on that. All these new protocols and practices are new to me. So they have what they call a members cup, where I guess all of us who are already paying dues, if that's not enough, have to pay a little extra to play in a tournament. So
Sure.
the thing was shut down anyway, despite the torrential downpour that's rolling through our city. So I was screwed either way.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the problems I have in my life.
The only club I ever used to go to was Club MTV with downtown Julie Brown. I mean, that was awesome back in the day. Remember that?
Or Club
was that
Med.
Eric Nees? Was Eric Nees a part of that?
Eric Nees?
Yeah, what was that guy's name, right? Who was wasn't he one of the first of Club MTV, and he was on like the first Real World?
Eric from The Grind. He also had a dance show on MTV.
Oh,
called
that's
that.
great, Eric from not Grinder. I don't think.
No,
he went on
this
that.
is
No,
decades
no,
before
No.
No.
Although I do know Eric from
Eytan's
Grindr.
big on social media, but he's not on Grindr.
That's right. I didn't make that site. That's for sure.
Now, Brett, we have big news here in the city of Philadelphia today. I don't know if you touched on in your earlier show on SB Nation Radio, Eytan, but did you see?
Probably not.
you-
I was sleepwalking through it off Xanax, I'm sure, but no.
Did you know that the 2026 World Cup is looking for finalists, and guess which city is among the 17 cities
17.
vying for the 10 spots? So there will be 10 cities that will be hosting the 2026 World Cup in the United States. And yes, even war-torn Philadelphia wants to host it, Harry. Only 10 cities. You have to go to Philly2026.com. And I say the city should get it.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of experience practicing civil disobedience, rioting, and lawlessness, which would rival the world's most ardent hooligans in soccer pitches all over the world. Am I right or wrong?
Would that invite or be one hell of a deterrent for the hooligans? Would the hooligans know, hey, I can come to Philadelphia and do whatever the hell I want? Or is that more of a deterrent where the hooligans would look up and say, oh, my goodness, Philadelphia, this place makes where we look like Disney World?
No, you know what? When we had the World Cup in the United States a while, I remember New York had it, the Meadowlands.
The DC had it. Yeah.
And so, obviously, this country has had cities host some of the events. But
Chicago.
should Philly get it is the question.
I think so. I mean, out of 17 to get down to 10.
Yeah, if they don't make the top
should
10
make
out
the
of
top
17
10.
cities.
Who are we up against?
Right.
Omaha, Ling. I mean, who are the other contenders here?
I have no idea. The whole story I didn't see. I only saw that there's 17 finalists, and it's going to be obviously in 2026. The good thing is Jim Kenney won't be mayor by then, so at least we don't have to worry about him in 2020. That's 6 years from now, man.
Well, you never know at this point, but you're right. He should be up. Now, the shirt will live on forever, but thankfully he will not.
Now, Eytan, we have some sad rap, well, actually it's good rap news today.
Oh, is that right?
Rap news. Now, I know you're big in the rap and hip-hop community. But
yeah, well, I'm kind of like one of these guys that's trapped in a time warp more so than anything. So I can break down things going on. I'm confident in the era from 1980 to about 2004. I'm pretty confident. But after that, I've been pretty much living in a basement. But I'll do my best.
Well, Pop Smoke, you may remember Pop Smoke was pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
Pop Smoke
sure.
was killed back in February in a mansion that he was renting in the Hollywood Hills. And they arrested 5 people yesterday in Los Angeles. 5 people, 3 adults and 2 juveniles, nailed by LAPD. And the interesting thing about this, he's renting this mansion, and it's got the infinity pool over the Hollywood Hills, so he took a lot of pictures of himself.
Right.
And one of the pictures that he took of himself had the address. So all of these people who are figuring, hey, this guy's got a lot of money, he's a rapper, we know where he lives now, went up there, they're assuming, and went in there, they broke into his house, killed him, and then cleaned out all of his stuff, and it took them until just now to finally get the 5 people who are responsible allegedly for his murder.
So they can find out who killed Pop Smoke, but we don't know who killed Tupac.
Exactly right.
That's an outrage.
It is an outrage. Absolutely
that's
right.
assuming you believe he's still dead. I mean, he could be on an island somewhere pumping music out. The guy was putting albums out for 13 years since he died.
Not Corn Pop, though.
Oh,
That's
no.
a bad dude.
He's in Delaware.
Yeah, he's still down there. He's
Right.
still controlling the
Wilmington
Joe Biden gang down there.
Right.
But we have the list of cities now. Wait, we have breaking news. We have the list of cities that are now, these are the teams vying to be one of the top 10, Harry?
The 17 cities that are vying to be the top 10 for the United States World Cup, Tony.
And it's not just United States. They're not 17 United States cities.
It's a total of 23.
It's
a total of 23 cities, Eytan. Some of them are in Canada and Mexico, but 17 of them are in the U.S.
Okay, so the Canadians are Edmonton, Montreal, and Toronto.
Okay.
Edmonton? What is this fascination
I
with
don't know.
Edmonton?
I agree.
It has a great mall.
Wait a minute. They got the Oil Kings up there. The
Yeah.
Edmonton Oilers and the Oil Kings, they
All right,
used to be called back in the day.
Let's just give
That's all
them
they
one.
got, though,
Let's just
Tony.
give them Toronto.
Yeah, you got to give Canada at least
give them
one.
Toronto, okay?
I'll give Montreal's a hell of a city.
Yeah.
Well,
Come on,
either one.
Montreal's-
Well, Edmonton and Toronto got the NHL reboot in
Right.
the playoffs.
Well, because Montreal is too much like a New York City. I mean, it's like a mini New York. There's debauchery and madness everywhere. They couldn't control that there.
Exactly. And then Mexico, you got Guadalajara, Mexico City, and Monterrey. Mm-hmm. But then the USA, Harry, of course, waving his American flag
Yes.
right now.
Atlanta, Baltimore, Boston, Cincinnati, Dallas, Denver, Houston, KC, LA, Miami, Nashville, New York, New Jersey is one item. Orlando, Philadelphia, San Francisco Bay Area, Seattle, and D.C.
Who of those 17 will not make the cut? That's the biggest question.
Cincinnati, I can pretty much guarantee you that nothing's going to happen in Cincinnati.
Right.
You could take that's probably the odds-on favorite, right, to be first off the list.
I don't know if they do it first off. I think they just name the 10 and everybody else sits around and saying, what the hell happened to us?
I mean,
Like Edmonton, it's Canada's Cincinnati, right? Is that accurate?
Well, now, we got a lot of good listeners in Cincinnati. Our buddy AJ in Cincinnati is not going to be happy with you, Eytan.
yeah, but I agree with Eytan, though. And also Baltimore. If you're going to have D.C. or Philadelphia, you can't have Baltimore.
No, I agree.
Right?
Even your dog is agreeing. See right
Ace.
there.
That's Ace.
Ace is the play saying Baltimore is out. I'll tell you who's going to be out. Kansas City's not going to get it
Right.
either.
No, my dog is outraged that Cincinnati was. I apologize to AJ, but he was outraged.
And, as much as I love my hometown, I think Philly misses the cut here.
You think so?
Yes, I think Philly misses the cut.
Really?
They're going to take New York, New Jersey. They're going to take L.A. They're going
Right.
to take D.C. They're
Okay.
going to take Miami, Seattle, Atlanta, San Francisco Bay Area, Dallas. You got to have a Texas presence, Boston, and Denver.
Well, what about the soccer presence? And I don't pretend to be a Union diehard, but we have a pretty big presence in MLS and really soccer across the country. People know and recognize our fan base here.
Well, Kevin
It's a pretty
Kincaid is
good-
responsible
Yeah,
for
Kevin
that.
Kincaid should be the guy who gets
Right.
when they announce Philadelphia. If they get it, he should be the guy that goes up and receives the nomination.
Exactly.
Not John Kincaid.
Not
No,
John
no.
Kincaid. He's in Atlanta. He'll
Well,
accept for Atlanta. If he's still down there in if he's still down there in 2026. No, they're going to announce they're going to announce him next year in 2021. So we get 5 years to figure out what the hell we're going to do.
I don't even know if I'm going to be around here in 2026.
I don't know if I'm going to be around here by Monday, Harry.
Right.
Well, Tony, Pro
California
Soccer
might not
Talk.
be around.
Pro Soccer Talk agrees with you on the top 10.
That's because I just read him off that list.
See, I was going to make it sound like you came up with it on your own.
Well, I pretty much I agree with Pro Soccer Talk. As long as it's not Pro Football Talk, because I don't agree with anything Florio writes. That dude's a loser, man. Let me give him one of these.
The best part about it, though, is they're all individual. So Kurt Heelan, for example, is the Florio of the NBA site, and he's the complete 180. If you stay away from Mike, you'll be okay on all those other sites.
Exactly right. So you think Philly makes the top 10?
This says they're missing out.
Really?
Yep.
I'm surprised.
Well, this is the ranking from Pro Soccer Talk.
Soccer
so
Talk,
they
yeah.
feel that
They
Philadelphia
determined that Philly is not one of the top 10 soccer markets in America. You know, I love these debates. It's like pool. You know, whenever you have a list, or you have a Mount Rushmore, or you have a ranking list of the top 370 porn stars. Although there wasn't much disagreement with that.
No.
I mean, you can't go wrong in any of the 370. I would think.
Isn't this a little premature? We might not even have sports in 2026.
No, but
that's
they have
true.
to. They have to submit.
2026.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They have to submit their whatever they, because Philly already has it. You know, we hosted the World Cup. We hosted the Pope. We hosted the DNC convention. You know, the Army Navy games.
Right.
And so there's a list of things. Philadelphia is a great tourist destination, and so the city has put out its cause.
If Jeffrey Lurie had put a dome on the top of the link, we would have had a Super Bowl by now.
Yeah. Let me ask you, though, and I talk about everything all around the world and country here, but specific to if Philadelphia got it, where, anybody living in and around and near the stadium, if you don't care that it's coming, are you really upset if it doesn't come? Because it's probably going to add road closures and all this other influx of people.
Well, you know how close we live to the stadium complex. I would rent my house out for $1 million for a month. Some rich Euro trash dude looking for an Airbnb comes down here and rents the house.
Yeah, and
I'll
has sex
jack him
parties
real
on your
good.
couch.
He can have sex parties down here in the wine cellar. I'll even buy him some quality stuff.
Oh, that's beautiful.
If he rents it out for $1 million, hell yeah, I
Hell
agree
yeah,
with that.
man. You know whose house this is?
They only got $40,000 for the homes net by Marion when the U.S. Open came there. I don't think you're getting
Those are just golf schlubs. These are world-class soccer fans from all. Ronaldo could rent out my house and have orgies right here in the wine cellar, Harry. Bring some of those hot Brazilian chicks down here, man. Oh,
We will install hooks on the ceiling for 6 weeks for them, man.
They'll make a sex dungeon out of this place.
Whatever they want.
orgy! Yeah, baby, yeah.
You could just take is that sex dungeon in Lower Merion still around in Malvern?
They're not
Fort
selling
Washington.
it. And, we know the realtor.
Yeah.
Remember
there
that?
you go.
Melissa Leonard.
Melissa Leonard's the realtor. We saw her at the Super Bowl again, and we asked her the latest on that house, and the people have taken it off the market because they're making so much money.
I think it was a scam just to get the word
absolutely.
out to get people to rent the place.
Yeah,
That's what
so
it was all
now
about.
it's an Airbnb, and they rent out the house on weekends for sex parties.
Right. My buddy
Now,
lives
how
next
much
door.
Can you still do that with COVID, or can you have socially distanced sex parties? Probably not, right?
Well, I saw a story the other day in New York, in the New York Post, so you know it's right, that now, even though Dr. Fauci a month ago was saying you could still have sex, now they're saying if you make out, you should still have masks on. How do you make out with masks on?
Yeah.
Very, very
tough.
carefully.
It's like the old scene in The Naked Gun when they were making out with full-body condoms.
Yes, I think we've got to bring full-body condoms back. It's better than the outfit Joel Embiid was wearing yesterday.
Well, yeah.
By the way, Harry pointed out Embiid posted a picture of himself from a few years back where he looks like he weighs 120 pounds.
Yeah.
So he's gained significant amount of weightage since that pick.
Yeah, but he's claiming with the diet that they might have to eat down in Orlando, that crappy food, he might go back to looking like he did then.
Apparently, that's just the first 48 hour. You're down there for 2 days. You're supposed to quarantine, not leave the room, take 2 negative tests, and then you're good to go. Once that happens, I think you're way more, from what I hear, you're way more on your own than you are basically restricted. You're still going to get tested, get your fever and all that other stuff tested, but you are technically allowed in and out. It's just looked down on, frowned, and basically don't do it. So I think he's going to have plenty of opportunities to run, skip, and hop to any local place that'll serve him a milkshake.
Correct, and the NBA has actually partnered with 6 different restaurants down there: Del Frisco's, Joe's Crab Shack, Morton's, the Oceanair, Palm, and Saltgrass to provide delivery service specifically for
no Chick-fil-A every day?
So I think they're going to be okay.
And these guys are all crying. How about Rajon Rondo? Complaining about the room he's got at one of the Disney resorts, saying it's a Motel 6.
Yeah.
This guy's probably never even seen a Motel 6. Did you see the picture of his room?
Yeah, it was $400 a night. I'm thinking, wow, that place looks pretty special. And he's probably upset because he knows that there are people staying in nicer spots. But come on, what is the sympathy that he was expected to garner from that?
These guys are used to staying in Ritz's and,
Four seasons.
Four
sure.
seasons.
And if he says that, which I have up on the screen, if you're watching Twitch right now, if he says that looks like a Motel 6, he's clearly never been to a
Exactly
Motel 6.
right. It's ridiculous.
Or Howard Johnson, by the way, which I prefer over a Motel 6.
And by the way, I loved him at third base for the Mets
Howard
back in the
Johnson.
day.
Hojo.
Hojo was a hell of a
Hojo.
player, man. And I'm not a Mets fan, but you got to give that guy
No,
love.
Exactly.
He was
He had a good
clutch.
stash working, too, you know?
Oh, absolutely right, man. So you got that, and then you got the Torian Prince is the fourth New Jersey Net, but he didn't bow out. He had to be declared out because he got the COVID.
Too late.
And it's too late, so they don't want him to make the trip down there. So 4 of their players, how many? Have bailed. So who will replace him? Because Harry and I were watching the TBT earlier, and there's a lot of guys, a lot of Temple guys on the Brotherly Love team on the TBT. Have you been watching any of that,
And
Eytan?
the Marquette guys.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I have not been watching it, but I hear from a lot of people it's been good action. I honestly forgot it was going on.
Harry knows all the players because they're all Temple guys on
Well,
the
there's
Brotherly
there's four of them on
on the
it.
Brotherly Love team. They were playing the Marquette team.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to go Eagles here. They're going to combine the remaining Nets and Wizards players and just make one team and have them be like, the 8th seed.
The Weagles, what would we call them?
Well, no, they'd
The
be
Wets.
The
they would be
Wizettes.
what yes, exactly.
The
That's probably
Wizettes.
best.
The Wizzes
The
or without?
Wizettes. The Wizouts. Yeah.
Unbelievable, man.
That team wouldn't win the TBT tournament.
No, I don't think so.
That team, you kidding me? That team fully stocked wouldn't win the Big 3 tournament.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's going to be fun to watch, though. I want to watch 40-year-old guys taking with threes.
Is that all this is? The TBT? It's older guys?
No,
too, like the
they're
Big
actually
Three?
younger guys. They're guys who are recently in college.
Yeah, they're like
okay.
in their 30s.
Yeah,
it's late 20s, 30s.
No, I was talking about some of the Nets guys that they're signing.
Oh, yeah. Well, Crawford. How old's Crawford?
Jamal Crawford's 40 years old.
40 years old.
Jamal Crawford's 40 years old, and he'll be launching him out there, no doubt about it.
He's 40. He's a
Absolutely.
man.
He's a man. That's right. I'm a man. Exactly. Now, people are
Crawford might be
commenting,
the best
Eytan.
shooter on their team.
People are commenting on your headshot, which we post up on the Twitch stream, where you're sort of like leaning back with your arms crossed. Are you low-key faded, by the way, in that particular photo?
In that particular photo, I think it's a safe assumption in every photo, Tony.
Oh, bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
He sort of has that look like, yo, come at me, bro. You
Yeah.
know, make your move.
Make your move, sucker, as Bobby Bonilla said many times to the New York Scribes back in the day.
Yeah.
Now, there is-
I met Bobby Bonilla during the strike. Or remember the early 90s, right?
Yeah,
That strike.
94.
So at the time, my mother was living in Stamford, Connecticut, or Stamford and Greenwich. And Greenwich is right on the border of Port Chester, New York. So we'd always drive over the border because it was cheaper to get gas in New York than it was in Connecticut. One day, we're driving over the border. We're in Port Chester, a gas station. We pull up, and nobody comes out. There's a guy sitting on a lawn chair. And I'm looking over. Finally, one of the attendants walks out, says something to the guy sitting down. He pops up and smiles. And you remember, Bobby Bonilla had a very memorable smile
Yep.
when he flashed it. I'm thinking, that's Bobby Bonilla. That's how Bobby Bonilla was spending the strike, was just chilling at his buddy's gas station, hanging out. And I'm thinking he's probably still there right now, making that $1.19 million a year.
Now, Bobby Bonilla was a hell of a player, too, and everybody loved him. He wasn't a
absolutely.
bad guy. He just
No, he was a great guy. He signed a piece of cardboard for me, and he talked to me, and he was saying, "Yeah, this is what I'm doing right now, just hanging out." And every time his name comes up, I'm thinking he's probably still hanging out at that Port Chester gas station, making money hand over fist.
By the way, A.J. Marcos on the Twitch stream wants to know if Jamal Crawford will get another six-man award for playing in this NBA reboot for 8 games. I mean, if he steps up big in the 8 games, the final games, because right now they're sitting in a playoff berth, and he
Right.
catapults them up to the 6th seed. Will he get 6th man of the year?
I don't think they have anybody else on that team right now. He might get MVP bid. Guy could drop 40 a night and improve their seeding and be up for an MVP.
He'll get the most improved player in a shortened pandemic season award, which will be the first and hopefully last award ever issued.
Now, who would that be sponsored by?
It's a good question now. Dr. Fauci. We'll have his name on the trophy. It'll be a bust of Dr. Fauci's head, and they'll hand it out at the end to the most improved player who did not get COVID-19 and was able to make it through the bubble of Orlando and have a nice trophy. And then everybody else gets participation ribbons. You got to have participation ribbons for everybody now. And also, because the food's been so bad, we have to bring down some of the sippy cups. And what else is what are the little things that they give the kids at the
Happy Meals?
No, the liquid things. Not the juice boxes, the other things. Where you used to put the little straw and you punch a hole in the straw.
Oh,
and you
Capri Sun.
Capri Sun. Come on, Robin, you had kids before any of us. Your kids were younger than mine. My kids are in their 40s. You don't never remember Capri Suns?
Capri Suns that's an amazing pull right there, man.
Jesus, they still have them. They still give them to kids.
It wasn't even like
Is
a
that
carton.
right?
It was almost like a bag.
It was like a bag.
Yeah.
A bag.
Oh, yeah, it was a
Yeah.
pouch.
I still
It was
drink Capri
convertible,
Suns.
yes.
And then you had a little, the little straw was attached to it, and it had a sharp end.
Right.
And you puncture it in there, and you drink it out of the bag.
Rothstein still drinks Capri
Do
Sun.
they
I
still
do.
sell them?
Yeah. My little sister
sure.
drinks them. I'll steal them from her all the time.
Do they have the?
Put some Tito's with it.
Do they have the purple drank ones now? At least for the kids.
That'll be down in the NBA releasing soon.
The NBA will have little purple drank Capri Suns for everybody on the bench in the second
Is there
row.
flavored Capri Sun?
Yeah, instead of the Gatorade coolers.
Comes with a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, they'll have Jolly Ranchers. They'll have all the necessary accoutrement to keep the players happy. By the way, the interesting baseball thing I got to get to, the Toronto Blue Jays,
Yeah.
according to Scotty
Yeah.
Mitch, TSN, so this is a legit guy at the
Right.
Sports Network, so they've been informed that if they're seen outside of the ballpark or hotel, they'll be punished. Maybe $750,000 fines and maybe jail time. Are you serious right now?
So think about this. What inhumanity would be worth risking that? I mean, obviously, if you get a hot Tinder date and you can't get her through all of that security and protocol and all, right? That's the first thing. Are you going to risk it all for a Powerade, a cold Powerade at 7-Eleven, or a Chick-fil-A milkshake?
No.
How about a
think
White
that's
Claw? I
probably
mean, how about if
the
there's a White Claw run at the local Publix or whatever else is
listen.
down there?
I am addicted to, and I make no shame or ifs about it. I am addicted to White Claw.
Yeah,
so
he
that might
admitted
be-
that.
Oh, I hate
Yeah.
to do it. I
Yeah.
hate to end the
That is
segment
true.
like that, man.
I can confirm that.
I hate to end on that kind of a note, man.
I'm sorry, brother, but it's true. I can't drink anything. My metabolism is shut down. The only thing that doesn't add weight to my body when I'm out golfing is White Claw.
You and
So,
Robin have that same problem right now, man. Lightweights.
telling you,
Sorry,
brother.
man.
I hate it. Is there a pill I can take?
SB Nation Radio, Monday through Friday, 11 a to 1 p Eastern Time. It's the Shander Show.
We may have to.
Andy's on Twitch.
And on